Hello industrialist, this is Bogdan with ID Stuff Games, live with another Rise of Industry. Today we're going to cover optimization, how to perform your industry, how to build your industry without actually having to fuck too much up. Pardon the harsh words, but we're trying to get the best we can from an industry with the lowest amount of resources spent. Alright, this is the third town which we've worked in. I'm going to use the same map from the zero to hero because it takes way too long to evolve from one point to another, and I'll go through a little bit of things I've done right, things I've done wrong, and pretty much what needs to improve. So alright, first off, let's begin with the first city, Welbeck. So, when I first started this game, I think I've explained this in Zero to Hero as well. Good thing what you can do is build a warehouse that's around each individual plantation or basic produce, which goes to the farmer's market and to the hardware store, which is usually rubber and cotton, excepting for livestock material. Now, since I've had the opportunity to make water, sand, all in once, I just hit the coastline. That was excellent work for me. First mistake I've done was to build a warehouse here. Here is pretty far away from the city. So as you can see, if, for example, I go with cotton, and then, I send it directly to Welbeck. So let's see how much one cotton actually sells for. We'll give it a little bit of time, so come on, cut. I'm gonna speed things up a little bit so I can show you exactly so that's 490. As you can see here, I'm going around 148, and this is 360, but it's 360 going towards the warehouse. So basically all of these costs spinning around here, let me just slow things down a little bit to explain further. This is sending directly to the farmer's market, which is, where are you exactly? I think you can highlight it. I used to, okay, so it's here. Alright, so what I've done wrong and what I've done right. Wrong, I've built a warehouse here. Whilst it's not important, you have each individual month costs, which is vehicle upkeep. Now mine are huge because I already own 4 cities, but if you wanna build and make the most out of your economy, first thing that's a mistake is sending everything to the warehouse. It's easier, that I agree on, but just imagine you have water coming here, water going here, produce going here, produce going from here to here. That will automatically be around, let's say, 2k per produce. Now if we have that produce, we sell it for 8k, which is awesome. You don't see the initial cost disadvantage. However, let's just say if I ship the produce, so it's currently at, let's just say 2k. Building upkeep last month is 16,000, and I build 5 units. So let's start calculating a bit. Very few math, but just to keep you in check. So that's 55k, out of which 10 is vehicle upkeep and 16 is building upkeep. So I literally lose half of my product just through shipping costs, and that's if it works at 100%. Now the optimal here to do is choose destination, go to commercial, and find the closest to you. Now let's for the sake of this video, speed things up a little bit and show you how things can be improved. Look, so you have 660. Alright, that's down from 2000. Now, not exactly down from 2000 because you also have the water upkeep that goes um, to the warehouse. However, you've basically reduced a trip from here to here. That's 200, maybe 200, 300 for each individual produce, with that, which that gives you about 1000 worth of gold per month. So let's just see here. Okay, we're working on R&D costs, so that won't cost us too much. Last month we've made 2,014,000. Alright, now let's hope that that won't. So we're gonna try and optimize costs here a little bit and basically free up the farmers market. Now this might not be noticed in the first month because we already started the month, but I want to see if there's actually any improvement. This was also a myth that I found on YouTube, where the distance to the warehouse, if sent directly to the farmers market, is the same. After carefully calculating everything, I would disagree. It is definitely not the same. You're losing a lot of money through the distance between the farms as well as the warehouse. Alright, now, so 214, we're going to analyze. So last month we've made 210, and this month let's see if we get any increase whatsoever. Now, it should be 400 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 400 by 7 is 28,000, so we should get 238 approximately if they are on 100 upkeep, and hopefully they are. Alright. Alright, so we're aiming for 238. I don't really know if that's gonna be the case. No, it's actually more. It's because of the R&D costs, and it's hard to estimate because the research done per month is more. So we're actually losing a little bit. So I cannot show you this example. You'll have to take my word on it, but is there any way we can stop? No, we cannot. We can actually increase the research, which is a bad thing to do. Yeah, 207 now with the increased costs is not really possible, so either we're losing money somewhere else, or I cannot exactly show you this example here. Monthly right, reduced Manchester, no thank you. Alright, either way, it's fine. Let me just quickly set the research to 2.5 million because now we have plenty of money, and research will actually go a lot smoother. Okay, let's talk a little bit about heavy industry. So some buildings that are far away from your town, they're worth, and some are not worth. For example, if you're a beginner, you wouldn't even care about it in your purifier. You think it's just this part that's polluted. Not true. There are other places, if you place farms, like for example here, which is not the case. In some cases, depending upon wind conditions and everything, pollution can actually go to a part of your farms and you will have smoke there. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Any building that has pollution can also affect your farms and income. Alright, when's it worth it to send heavy industry like oil, gas, I don't know, anything? Well, it's simple. I mean, if you go to the hardware store and for example you see that the oil is around 6k, then you'll go to you can make a factory, speed things up a little bit, and you'll see that was 1.2k. So that's the distribution costs of the oil. If the distribution cost of the oil is 1.2k, then you'll need to estimate per month, and per month the building's at 35k, so 35k plus 5k is 40k. You produce how much per month on this one? Let's see, last month 10, so that's a total of 40k which you spend on maintenance, and you make a total of, that's a little bit double, so that's around 8.2k. So in this case, is it worth it to build one here? Of course, this brings you double the profit. So with that being said, that's the main thing you need to keep in consideration. If things like this, for example, this is farther. Let's see if we have any, if it produces, and what are the distribution costs of it. Give it a little bit of time. So that's 4k plus the 35 for the building. I still make a lot of profit. This is 1.4, and this is 4, which is a lot more. So this drastically increases the price. However, even with 4k, you would still bring about $20,000 profit just by this alone. So again, this profitable, this very profitable. If, for example, it would be a copper mine over here at the edge of the border, I don't have a border, but there was one here. If you have one at the edge of the border, that will possibly bring 5k, so be very careful when shipping these goods, because you can go at a loss. Okay, second thing that I did wrong, and this is a hard one to improve. I've built a lot of light industry. In a lot of situations, I've focused a lot on textiles. That's amazing. That's a very big money maker, because this is 46k per patch, 20, 30 just for basic goods. That can bring you, let me do math, because magic. So you have units produced for so that's 100,000 per month just by this, and the building upkeep is 11. So taking into consideration, I don't know, a transport cost of, let's just say, we'll approximate, let's just give it 2k. Alright, we'll give it 2k, but it's less than that. Let's go with the water and produce everything. So you get 2k minus 4 trucks, it's 8k. So that brings that's $20,000 per month in maintenance costs, and you make about 100. That's your basic tier 2 product. So that means you make a profit of 4 times what you actually spend on this, which is still amazing. It would be still efficient if this was producing at 30%, 25%, it would still bring you a profit. So what I've actually done here is not optimized. I'm not going to say bad, it's not optimized, but it's still bringing me a lot of money. And this is actually one of my biggest industries so far, because whilst this industry is bringing me, let's just say 200,000, 300,000, this is bringing me roughly, off the top of my head, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 40, that's 1.4 million. But with 4 times the building. Yeah. So this is bringing me 7 times more profit than this. So if you want to go basic goods, that's fine. You can go basic goods. I've proved in the past that just basic goods, farmers market and hardware store brings a lot of money. Even if you supply 80% of these, you cannot supply always all of them. You can, but it's hard. So even if, just say, you supply 6 out of 8, that's still good. But the profits that you're gonna bring in are, I don't know, 80,000, not 80,000, yeah, 80,000 per month at most. So let's give it hardware store, and this, it's 160,000. That's still cool. But if this makes 1 million, I'm just gonna rough it out. That 1 million, that's only 20% maintenance cost and everything. Then you're basically bringing 800,000. So that's 7 times, 6 something times more than this. Tier 2, definitely a win here, and thank you for the devs for actually implementing that system. It's hard to make tier 2 products, even harder to upgrade further to tier 3, but why I want to show this is a poor example of what you can do. This is a better example out of how close I built the town. Still bad because due to the fact that I built so close, the town cannot expand this part, so it will build there. A good example of what you can do, I'll show you on in town number 3, is to take your warehouse, put it as close as possible here somewhere, surrounded by farms or an irrigation tower, and just use water wells if you don't have a water source. Okay, let's move on. Now, town number 2. I've tried to replicate the same, but just basically organizing things better. So this time I've put my warehouse close by. It's next to town. It has a very small dispatch distance, which makes it very efficient. I am losing a lot of costs, for example, but on these ones I've already had them directly shipped to the farmer's market, because the costs from here to here are a lot lower if I go from here to here. So that's how I've basically tried and optimize. I've did a few mistakes because in my experiment to do so I overlapped a few things and wasn't able to build further. So it's not optimal, but that's a good thing to learn. It's that you must find a terraformed space, and doing this optimized costs by a lot. So I've learned from my mistakes in the first town, all excepting for wood, because I just wanted to have an awesome forest, and well, I have an awesome forest, and I have not upgraded this for a while now. It's time for more wood to be brought in town. I basically wanted to make a lovely little forest here because it looks pretty nice. Same thing as before. This time I've tried to make it a little bit cleaner. I've noticed that I don't have the same space, and I've tried to optimize a system which only focuses on light fabric, fibers and dye, but I've wanted to mass produce them excessively. Now you won't get this at first, so as you can see here, some of the factories are not working at optimal efficiency. They're 70%. Yes, you can save, thank you. Done. Good. Go. Alright, so they're at 70%, maybe 80%. The farthest are usually these two. They don't get enough love sometimes, but that still brings me a lot of money. Here's what I've tried to do. I've tried to optimize the production to make it a close quarter production. That's a personal term I've created. What does that mean? It means I make the basic products, like cotton for example. I try to keep the farms as close as I can to the warehouse, so all the factories can pull up their goods. And everything here is sustained by 2 cotton farms and 1 berry farm, with obviously the excess, I believe, going into town, but that was not the case with berries. I don't think out of having so many farms I have actually any berries. So that was the idea, optimize everything for 70-80% efficiency, and this is pure gold, I can tell you. From once I started to create this hub, let's see if I can make some, yeah, well, the market's kind of saturated here, so 50k, 22 and 19, yeah, it's a bit saturated because they already have everything. Pathing lot. Sorry, might have forgotten a road here. My bad. Solved. Now, despite it might looking like it's not the most efficient thing in the world, some of these definitely can use another berry farm. And I'll try and optimize that later on. I'm thinking of adding a little bit more efficiency later on. I want to tinker with these because the production value of these is huge. Just imagine the 6 fibers plantation. This is bringing me 150k per cent, and how much are we producing per month? Units produced, that's 2. Okay, so that's 300,000 just by these 3 alone. So I think that speaks for itself that this is more than, let's just say, 800,000, maybe $1 million industry with, let's give it a whirl. How much income? 11k. 11k. Let's just say that they're 10. So only one of these, by having 10 of these, you actually cover your costs for one of these, which is amazing. So the other 9 will bring in pure profit. So this is awesome. Nothing more to be said here. As you can see, my total balance is going down. Before showing you my final town, I want to show a few tips and tricks. So research can be very, very fast. So let's try and switch it to 4, for example. This is how fast it figures out a year-long product. Let's give it a little bit of time to see. So this is a 1.8 million product. What is it? Tier 2? 3? Don't know yet. Yeah, it's a tier 3 product. So let's see how fast you research flour. This is a tier 2 one. That's how you search tier 2. 5 days, done. Awesome. Yeah, the costs will slightly go down because the research cost is taking up 1 million. To do that, if you actually want to do that, but that's only recommended when you have a lot of money and you don't really have enough to do, you go to efficiency and you start researching R&D monthly investment. This, for me, after I purchase my second or third town, is a must-have because I finalize everything within I don't know, minutes, so I can research anything in 10 to 20 minutes at most, and that is efficiency at its finest. Alright, back to my favorite town, my final town. What I've tried to do here, and this is the most efficient I've tried to be with my space. So one, you'll notice this does not actually have a warehouse, and it's an optimized system. These work at 100% upkeep. Lifetime was 89. Yeah, that's a lot. Why? Right. This thing right here called the irrigation tower is a whiz. So it covers all the major zone I need. I can add more farms here and I can monitor. Here's something a little bit more advanced. We can go to the farmer's market and see what produces are doing good and what produces are doing bad. Now, since they are so close to town and they have 5 fields each, they will be sending the goods at super high speed. So a lot of these, if you can see, they're fully supplied, excepting for things of course I didn't say. Now, what you might see in a few cases is partially supplied. This is what I have at my first town. The first town was actually okay, destination storage is full. What I had in my first town was partially supplied because I've had them sent, I don't know, maybe the equivalent was here somewhere. Now everything what I've done here is build up on water, connect everything to an irrigation tower, build everything around the irrigation tower, and that's going I would say close to amazing, and I can even build more. I would love to build more actually, and I possibly will. So I've tried to make everything as cleanly and efficiently as possible. So wood harvesters next to town, wood harvesters next to town. Here's where I've actually tested something. Um, I saw this on a fellow YouTuber once, where he made the logistics building around town. So I was actually expecting I was expecting this to ship on its own. Go away, please. I hate that bug. Alright, so let me see. The hardware store, is it full? Yeah, it's full. Gas, wood, cotton's almost full, sand's full. Alright, so that explains a few things. I still don't understand why I have pollution here, because I've basically built an air purifier next to each individual building that produces pollution, and I've sent out this distribution. I've created a water distribution channel with clean industry, sending here, sending to the warehouse that distributes to these two, so I definitely didn't want anything polluting my farm. But as I can see, I do have a little bit of pollution. Anyhow, perfect example of saturating the market. I've tried to build 2 of these, and I've basically flooded the market. Now what we'll do is evolve this city. I usually don't have time to create bricks and anything else it requires, so here we're gonna go with a warmongery. We need people to prosper, we need people to buy more stuff. So we actually need to give our produces a lot more, well, let's just say money. So, if that's the case, and if the farmer's market will be only partially supplied, or ever see it partially supplied, other than the wheat, then I can build another series of farms, build again around the tower, and distribute everything to town. That's very efficient industry in this case. This is the best setup I have so far in the whole game, where you build your farms closest to your town, and then you just send them over to town. A little bit back on this logistics building. In regards to the warehouse, I saw someone on YouTube actually stick a warehouse close to town, and then they were sending all the goods over to the warehouse, and the warehouse, he explained that everything was distributing automatically. That's not the case. I've tried and tested this, so I've added this logistics building here, and none of the resources were actually getting sent to town. So I've linked the industry ones like oil, wood, gas to the warehouse, so this will be a slow distributor of resources as soon as I underflood the market. This is still an experiment and a test in progress, so I'll see exactly how that goes in the long run. Only thing you might have here is I don't really know why I have a destination. Oh, okay. Destination storage full. This one I've tried with 3 of these. Again, 3 is not enough, so 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 farms at approximately 3 water wells is decent, but not enough. 4 is too much, but I'm hoping I can tinker that with efficiency. I'll actually work towards that. I'll keep everyone updated on how that goes. Got ships. Yeah, let's actually do a little bit of efficiency. Go, 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 go. Nope. These are tier 2 foods, and they're getting researched awesomely well. So last month I've made about 4 million. Okay, I guess that's our basic distribution. I'll build up on warmongery because now we actually have copper and oil and gas, and I want to build more tier 2 products. Currently I'm at the stage where I'm experimenting a little bit further. Yeah, so I'm trying to experiment a little bit with the water distribution, but this is something very badly optimized yet. I'm trying to send out water from here towards the irrigation tower. I hope that's the case. I'm not really sure if I succeeded in doing that. Yeah. Let me check. Manual mass water. Mass water. Mass water. Okay. And this is mass water. Yes, the distribution is fine. So I have a lot of things outgoing, and I could go with other water wells. Again, it's the distribution cost that's farther. So this is the other end of the stick, or so to say, where we've made first camp close by to a new city. We're distributing everything, we're dispatching everything through a warehouse because everything is close to the warehouse, and we're getting water from the irrigation tower rather than having more trucks dispatched through the warehouse. So pretty much we'll see how this goes. I still find it odd that sometimes it's going with bad efficiency, like 80% and 90%. I'll tweak out after I finalize the tech tree. So alright, not much to say. With that being said, I'll return back with do or don'ts for Rise of Industry, and you'll possibly see that in the next video. So thank you very much for your time. I hope this was productive for you to understand how Rise of Industry works at a more advanced level, and calculate your own production costs, and from there see if something is profitable or if it's something just bringing you down, and then just destroy it. Alright, have a lovely day ahead, industrialists. Thank you for your time, and I wish you a lovely evening.